All right, so math formulas is already next chapter. So what I will do is I will highlight the next chapter, de-highlight this one, and what we will cover actually in this chapter are these kind of formulas. So plus, minus, divide, multiply, sum, average, round, sum, product, min, max, rank. And we will now go one by one through the formulas. Plus is actually the simplest. Don't even have to show that. For example, this plus this is 11. Yeah, so 2 plus 9 is 11. Minus 6 minus 12 is minus 6. Divide 10 divided by 29. Here maybe in terms of formatting, go for maybe double digit. Multiply, that's it. To sum something up, let's say for example, doesn't make any sense now, but let's sum this up. Then it's 28. The command is, the formula is sum. If you include text, for example, then it's getting ignored basically. Okay. So then you can of course also use average to get like, that actually makes sense. Here, let's say, and here I do again the freeze panes now, that you can still see the first column and the first row. Let's say want to find out what the average shop price is. Then we basically mark the area from the second cell to the 41st cell, and then you can see that the average is around 18.68 or 75 if you want to be specific, dollars. That's the average. So what question could also be, what was the minimum price in the shop? Minimum price is min, and then same here, it's F2 to F41, which is minimum is 2, and maximum also quite easy, same thing here, 65. If you don't work with tables, what we will do later, but if you want to work with names here, you can also do, and it's also pretty cool to get used to working with names. Actually, it's say this, for example, could be shop prices. You say okay, and if you say then here, for example, maximum of shop prices, it will tell you okay, for this lecture I continue in Excel 2010 because Excel 2013 crashed now a couple of times. But to finish that, actually, so you can also work with names here. You can, for example, say you want to define a name here. It's the shop price. And let's say you want to find out what the maximum of the shop price is. That's 65. Yeah. So what we did till now is actually the basic operators, and we did min max. Next is round. So round is just important to understand. If you, for example, have a number like this, and let's say you round that number by 2 digits, 3.15, or showing that like that, then you can see it rounded by the second digit behind the decimal. If you actually now only show 2 decimals, then the numbers look the same. But if you look then really deeper into the number, then you can see already here, it leads to differences in terms of rounding. And what does it mean? That means basically when you work with, let's say for example, a P&L, like a profit loss statement, and you work with full numbers and you cut out decimals, and you don't use round, or you just don't show decimals, then sometimes the big numbers can add up to different, slightly different numbers, only different by like a very, very, very slight difference, but still it's, let's say on board level and big corporates, people see when numbers don't add up. Yeah. So when you work with round, then usually you can fix that problem with the rounding errors. So that's where round comes in. That's why it's interesting. Okay, so that was actually round. So rounding a number. Let's do sum product. Sum product actually is something that is here especially interesting as soon as we have, let's say, for example, quantities, and we want to come up with the total revenue. Because price times quantity is revenue. Let's say would have here another column called quantity, and we have here a random number between 1 and 3. Let's say 1 and 10. Then that, let's say, are now the quantities. Pure coincidence. Here actually also, if I press now F9, you can see that these kind of numbers change. Yeah, that's this kind of calculate now effect. So you don't want to have to change the quantities all the time. For us, it is right now only dummy data. So what I want to have, what I want here is actually the pure values. Yeah. So what I do is I copy the data and I say paste special values. Because then, as you can see right now, there's not a formula anymore in there. It's a basic, it's a number, and if I press F9 right now, then nothing changes. Yeah? So now if here some quantities, and to come up with revenues right now, basically, I can do, I can actually. There are several ways how to do it. Let's use sum product to show you how quick it is. And let's say it's the shop price times the sales. Yeah. And you see it's 4,369, let's say, dollars. What you could also have done is come up with here with a revenue column in here, say revenue, and then you can say that's shop price times sales, and if you sum that up, you can already see down here it's 4,369. Either you do sum right now or you do an auto sum. Let's go for this, see it's the same. So sum product actually multiplies arrays, and an array was, for example, the column shop price with the column quantity. Yeah. Okay. So that's sometimes very, very, very cool function to make things simple and short. So it was sum product. So taking the last one, which is rank. Rank gives you basically, based on a set of data, the rank of, for example, the highest or the lowest one. For example, let's take the shop prices, and you want to know what is the most expensive item in terms of price in the shop, what is the second most expensive, the third most expensive, and the least expensive. In that case, you can use the rank function, and let's call it rank by shop price. And what you want to do is you want to do rank, and you want to see the shop price in reference to that data here. In my case, it's now called shop price because I defined a name for that. Otherwise, there would be F2 to F41 in there, and I want to have it descending, so the most expensive one is ranked number 1. The least expensive one gets the last rank. So fill in a 0 for descending order, close the brackets, and I can see that $7 is rank 33 compared to all other items in the shop. Autofill it. What I can see is that the one down here, the Hugo Boss jeans with 65 euros, is the most expensive one. Yeah, so that's actually how rank works. Interesting, for example, if you work with if you play games with your friends and you track it in Excel, or if you have like a league, a football league, and so on and so forth, and you want to rank it. So the rank is especially in games, it's very interesting. Okay, that's it. So now we covered all the most important math functions.